Well, hello, and welcome to the Quite Trippy Podcast. It's Cousin Sherry, and I'm back again, fulfilling my promise to try and get back every time Q posts, although Q's been posting every day and a little hard to get used to. I'm here in the space station, and Earth is looking pretty good. It's definitely looking round, although some people don't think so. Okay, so what we're going to do today is start with yesterday's Q posts. Yesterday's Q posts. So here I go. Hope you're all doing well. Beautiful day here in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. Okay, May 20th. Okay, we start at 1:34 p.m. yesterday with a picture of Trump and Fauci looking like a little, not a little weasel, but like a little imp back there. Although I don't really know what an imp is, but I don't know. And it just says reconcile. So we've got a Twitter post here. Come on. And it is a anonymous Q Patriot Twitter post that says, why was Dr. Fauci, a health expert, just a few months ago telling us masks were harmful and unessential to those of us who aren't infected? Why do we need masks now? What's changed since March? Nothing's changed. And Fauci, we'll just play this. Could not be played. Let's see. It's not going to let us play it, but he's basically he's saying that they don't work, and then they ultimately get around to the fact that it's not that they don't work. It's that he was afraid at the time that the essential medical workers wouldn't be able to get that. So why couldn't he just say that? Because it makes him look like a huge hypocrite now, saying that masks are essential. So we're not going to know the answer to that question ever if they really help in a disease, if you're trying to prevent a disease. And it does make sense if you've got it, maybe you want to keep your germs to yourself, but they're not necessary. They're certainly not necessary because all the numbers are low, way lower than they said they were, and it's just to fulfill their mandate, which is, he's looking to push for vaccines, and so it benefits him in the end to push this agenda that we need to be 6 feet apart and we need to be wearing masks. So there's that. I'm not sure why that's not playing. It looks like I might not be logged into Twitter, which is strange. So let's hope that's not a problem. Okay, now the next post is 4293. And that came in at 1:43 yesterday, and there's a link to a U.S. News article. But first, I'll read what it says underneath. It says, "Meanwhile, Democrats on the Homeland Security Committee have decided the investigation and the subpoena, arguing that they should be focusing on coronavirus-related issue during the ongoing pandemic and prioritize it over politics. In a letter sent to Johnson on Tuesday, Senator Kamala Harris of California renewed her calls for another COVID-19 hearing, noting that the committee hasn't held one since early March. DNC Media, MSM, echo chamber push? Is this about the virus or about preventing exposure of the corruption, of the Democrats' corruption? Is this about the virus or locking our controlled Senate from investigating the FISA, Biden, and other corruption? Is this about the virus or the election? Once again, it's about politics, and they're saying the exact opposite. It benefits them to let's have another COVID hearing. Let's remind the public that they should be panicking. Let's get a bunch of people up there that will say what we want them to say, and we'll make sure that we'll make sure that we shame them into thinking they're terrible people because they're not talking about this epidemic that's upon us, and or this pandemic that's upon us, and instead they want to talk about politics. Meanwhile, well, I don't have to tell you, but I'll just shut up. Okay, let's see what the article says. Senate committee authorizes subpoena in GOP's Hunter Biden Burisma investigation. And yeah, I mean, everything that Giuliani said, he outlined it great in his podcast. If you haven't seen it, you absolutely should watch his series because he shows you all the proof. But meanwhile, we've had all these calls come out where we can hear Biden once again. It's reaffirming it's the other side of what he was saying on the Council of Foreign Relations. It's him talking to Poroshenko, saying, we've had no corruption, but I've fired the person you want me to fire. And he said, good, I'm a man of my word. And they move on. So, we've got that locked down solid. Again, because their excuse when people started watching that tape of the Council on Foreign Relations, they said, oh, well, he had to fire him because he was corrupt. He wasn't corrupt. So just more proof. And I don't know. I hear a lot of people talking about how Q, I get the part where, we don't feel anything solid's happened. There have been no public arrests. But I do think that Q has outlined the facts, and we've known about the facts of these cases. We knew about the facts of these cases 2 years ago, and now all of the proof is coming to light. So, let's just use Q as a valid information source, and not say that, all of these arrests and stuff have to happen, because we do know there's a degree of disinformation. You can't provide people with this much information without, providing the same exact thing to the enemy. So we have to know, because we're trying to acquire critical thinking skills, we have to understand that there's going to be some investigations on our part, some rooting out what's correct and what's not. I don't know. I'm not trying to rationalize, or I am trying to rationalize, but okay, let's see. Okay, so the next post is 4294, and that came in at 1:53 yesterday, and it says, Pandemic, Dem Panic, which is cute. I like that. Fear, vote by mail, and obey, stay inside or face death or arrest. Tactics push will end +1 election day. So the day after election day, no more. They won't be trying to, keep us in fear and make us stay inside anymore. And that's true. I believe that they're trying to stretch everything from Michael Flynn out just as long as they can. They want to keep him from talking. And after the election, if they win, then we go back to happy times. COVID, what? But okay, then it says reconcile. Release of convicts from prison. Evil releases evil. Do these people care about your well-being? Do these people love America? Do anything to regain power? Yes, yes, and yes. Okay. Next post is 4295, and that came in at 2:18 yesterday. And it says, people fell asleep long ago. People gave up control. People have been compartmentalized, divided. Divided, you are weak. Divided, you are taught to fight each other. Race versus race. Religion versus religion. Class versus class. Gender versus gender. Unity is what gives people strength. Unity is what gives people power collectively. Power over government. Power over, and it says nothing in the kill box. Unity creates peace. Unity is humanity. The world is what we make it. So, I'm not sure what the power over this is. Maybe the vote. I don't know. Power over anything. That probably means power over anything that we put our energy into collectively. Okay, so the next post is $42.96, and that came in at $2.33 yesterday. Now, it's simply two pictures, and two pictures taken a few minutes apart from each other, or what, no, 2 days apart from each other. And it's everybody just sitting in the press room on the first one, and everybody sitting with their masks on, like someone told them all to. And that if you think that this is a natural, that everybody just came in that day worried, you're out of your head, because they all get their marching orders from the same people. May 6th, masks off. May 8th, masks on. Reconcile. Pandemic. Okay. The next one is post number 4297, and it says, it's a picture of an article that says, "Where was Joe Scarborough at the time of death? A shocking discovery. Juanita and Andreas Bergman had an appointment at 8 a.m., July 20th, at the Fort Walton Beach office of Congressman Joe Scarborough, Republican from Florida. The appointment had been arranged by the congressman's young aide, Lori Clausitis, and Mr. and Mrs. Bergman thought they were going to meet with the congressman to facilitate Mr. Bergman's application for a green card. Instead, they found the body of Lori Clausitis. And the obvious questions that need to be answered: where was Joe Scarborough when Lori suffered her fatal injuries? If he was in D.C., as been suggested, why would Lori have scheduled an 8 a.m. appointment for him in Fort Walton Beach, Florida? If he was in Florida and had no prior knowledge of Lori Clausitis' death, why didn't he show up for his 8 a.m. appointment with the Bergmans? Because he was guilty." There's a picture of the police gathering some evidence at his office. So, and then we've got a Twitter post, which is a video of Mika Brzezinski. And let's see if this one plays. Okay, it's not playing. Maybe I need to log in. I don't know why this is happening here. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I'm on screen sharing right now. But it's basically Mika Brzezinski freaking out because Trump talked about this and trying to rationalize and stuff and calling him sick, and this is, and how much is, it's not about Joe. It's about the family of the person that was murdered, or person that died. And I don't know, it seems pretty obvious to me when she's scared. And I don't know, I think that we should just look at her father, who is Zbigniew Brzezinski, and he's a eugenicist, and he's a New World Order guy. And, you know, she's saying Donald Trump is sick for talking about someone who died. How about your father's sick for wanting to kill populations? I don't know. That seems like... Okay. I'm going to have to pause this for a minute because I want to fix... Yeah. I want to fix Twitter and then come back to you with the newest post. But I have to stop the recording first. Okay, well, that was easy. Okay, now we go back to QMap. I was on the wrong browser. Okay, so let's just watch Mika in her freak out session then. Really? Why is this happening? Huh. Well, it could be happening because it got too much traffic. But it doesn't make sense. If I'm missing something, people, please tell me in the comments below, because I don't usually have any problems watching these. Then again, I don't watch them on my on the Mac. I watch them on the PC. It could be a PC thing. Okay, so we won't watch that. No big deal. The next one is a post 298 came in yesterday at 7:08 p.m. and it says, "Ask and you shall receive," because Senators Johnson and Grassley ask acting DNI Richard Grinnell to declass more unmasking by Obama administration. So let's see what we got here. This is the letter. Okay, this is the letter where they are asking for the unmasking stuff. I mean, it's just such a shame what's going on with Flynn. I can't, it's hard to even believe, and I hope that Sydney can pull something out of her ass and I don't know, take it to the Supreme Court, do something, because this seems like such a severe injustice. People need to know about that. If there's one thing that you can red pill people on, it'd be the Flynn case. There's enough proof out there to show somebody and then show them what's going on in the court. And if that doesn't raise a red flag, I don't know what. I don't know what would. So I'm not going to read this whole letter because there are a bunch of drops here. So you can read the letter. But they did ask for more unmasking. The next post is yesterday at 9:12 p.m. and it says, "Important to note for future events. Masking versus unmasking. Incidentally intercepted versus direct target. 702 collection, minimization procedures versus CIA versus Five Eyes. How does the CIA collect intelligence?" And there's a link here, which we'll click on in a minute, and it says, "CIA not governed by FISA intelligence operations conducted outside the U.S. FBI is under FISA. Foreign counterintelligence mission is principally domestic. Target location U.S. or abroad. Traveling rules. Foreign intelligence collection of U.S. persons. Official versus unofficial. What central ABC agency played quarterback?" Now, yeah, this is very complicated because Five Eyes is 5 different countries that help us. Normally, intelligence passed on from a member of the Five Eyes Alliance, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and UK, and the US, to another member comes through an official channel for intelligence sharing. However, Nunes, upon reviewing the document that formally launched the FBI's investigation, says there was no intelligence shared through that official channel, meaning the intelligence was shared through unofficial means. So this whole thing is so confusing. I can't keep it organized in my head, but these are all the different elements of it. You've got masking versus unmasking, and incidentally intercepted versus direct, 702s. You've got all these different methods of collecting information, and how did they do it, and who ran the show. I believe it was the CIA, because they went out of the country and had their allies help them so that we couldn't detect it in the country. So it doesn't necessarily mean you'd have to have a FISA on somebody to get in to have them surveilled then. So this is the link here is executive orders, and it's a lot of reading. So go to qmap.pub to this post, and here's some reading for tonight. I haven't looked at it yet, and maybe I will, and maybe just make sense of this one thing. So it's a great reference, though. Great reference. The next post. We're getting there, people. Only 6 more, I think, right? Yeah. How the Obama administration weaponized surveillance laws to target Trump. And this is an article by The Federalist. I don't have time to read it now. It's pretty long. But it's a great synopsis of how the Obama administration weaponized surveillance laws to target Trump. And it's coming out, and we're starting to see it. People are different papers are starting to pick it up. I mean, we're not mainstream. Not that should be the goal, but people are actually putting the whole story together, which is fantastic. We're getting there. But I feel like we're down to the wire here. The election's November, and if things don't start coming out real clear real soon, and they're doing everything they can to prevent it. So, the next post is 4301, and that's today at 10:44 a.m. And it says, worth remembering, who was the quarterback? Okay, let me see. I haven't gone through these posts yet, so it's a New York Times article. Let's see. CIA affirms it spied on Senate panel. Oh, well, John Brennan was the quarterback, of course. That man is pure evil. Let's see what we got here. I'll read the first two paragraphs, and then we're going to have to move on. An internal investigation by the CIA has found that its officers penetrated a computer network used by the Senate Intelligence Committee in preparing its damning report on the CIA's detention and interrogation program. So this is back in 2014. The report by the agency's Inspector General also found that CIA officers read the emails of the Senate investigators and sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department based on false information. Okay, that's all I'm going to read. This is a big scandal, and John Brennan, they actually got to question John Brennan, and of course he lied. Well, he lied. I think he did admit, though, that they spied on them. So that's good. I don't like him. One of my least favorites. Okay, the next post is 4302, and that came today at 10:50 a.m., and it is a link to the CIA reading room, and it says, expand your thinking. So let's see what this is. Reporters and the CIA, and this is from 1986. So this is explaining the relationship between the reporters and the CIA, saying they keep in touch, but at arm's length. And so this is an article. I suggest that you, how many pages is this? Just 2? Okay. It's a 2-page article. Again, links in the QMap, qmap.pub. And this one, yeah, good. This one you can download for yourself and read it on a rainy day. The next post is 4303 and came in at 10:53 this morning. It says, logical thinking, CIA coming back into the news soon? Oh, please. And this is an article. It says, okay, this is Senate Intelligence. Again, something you can download. CIA's use of journalists and clergy in intelligence operations. Okay, so maybe they're going to finally explain and start getting out the Mockingbird media. Why we call it the Mockingbird media after Operation Mockingbird, which is the CIA inserting their agents into the media, into all parts of the media. Reporters and personalities and editorial writers, just to get their agenda out, and that's totally legal. So this is just a 1 page, I think. Yes. Oh no, this is a 50-pager. It's a 50-page document. So let's try and get this out there big time so everybody can understand. Now, this was Wednesday. This was probably from that hearing, and in 1996. I don't know, but it's probably good information. I do not have time to look over it right now. Okay, the next drop came in at 12:48 this morning, and it's a Fox News clip or article. Oh no, it's an article saying Senate confirms Ratcliffe as next Director of National Intelligence. Oh, that's fantastic news. I love him, and he knows his stuff. Oh, I hear my dogs fighting. I'm sure you do too. They love each other. They're having fun. Okay, so this is great. Senate, this gets very jumpy. I'm sorry about that. Senate on Thursday voted to confirm John Ratcliffe as the next Director of National Intelligence. Maybe they're so afraid of what Grinnell is doing that they finally let this guy through. Ratcliffe was approved on a 49 to 44 vote. The installment comes as the intelligence community once again finds itself in the middle of a political firestorm over whether Trump associates were improperly unmasked in intelligence reports during the latter days of the Obama administration. Ratcliffe's nomination was voted out of the Senate Intelligence Committee earlier this week on a party line vote of 8-7, reflecting lingering partisan tensions over the post. The DNI's role is crucial to our national security. Yeah, we know, because they had people in there that were holding back from all of this, letting all of this stuff out. And finally, Grinnell is doing it, and I hope that he maybe takes some hits for Ratcliffe, so Ratcliffe can be liked among more people, and he just declassifies a whole bunch of stuff before his post starts. Again, another article to read, a lot of reading. qmap.pub. And the last post, at least, let me just check and make sure it's the last post. Yeah. Okay. The last post came in at 1:05, which is only 20 minutes ago, and says, but at Team Cavuto said it will kill you. Oh, this is hydrochloroquine. Why are select journalists so invested with instilling fear regarding hydrochloroquine 40 years on the market? Is this about the health and well-being of people or something else, like the election? Is this about the virus or something else? So this is a Twitter drop, and I hope it's not a video that I can't watch again. Hydrochloroquine to be given proactively to more than 40,000 healthcare workers in the UK. What color is that pill? That's good. Let's see if it works. No, I can't play it, so gonna have to figure this one out, people. But it has been already, long enough show. So I'm sure I'll be back later on today or tomorrow with the rest of the drops from today, because it doesn't look like he's stopping anytime soon. But this is fantastic that the more and more people get the hydrochloroquine pill, the more we can feel rest assured knowing that, whatever is real about COVID is curable, and that you can prophylactically take it and not get it. And all of this craziness is about the election and not about the pill. So that's it for now for the Q posts. I hope you'll come back later. And tomorrow I'm going to do a podcast with whatever post Q does, and talk to you a little bit about my Patriot store on the Quite Trippy website. I do have quitetrippy.com. Now, it's a work in progress. I'm a web designer, so, please excuse the mess. I kind of just put everything up there. But I do have a Patriot store. And what I've got on there is, I do a lot of shopping at auctions and vintage stores, and I find some great items, a lot of old papers, old magazines and stuff. And then I also do artwork. So I'm selling my artwork. I'm selling really unique gift items for Patriots on my website. So if you go there, that would be great, because right now I'm not working, and I'm not making any money off this podcast. So I'd love to sell you something in the Patriot store. So go to quitetrippy.com to support me. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and that is it for today. I hope that the rest of your day is great. Bye-bye.